What's up guys, welcome to this new daily. My name is G and you are on my secondary channel. It's going to start to rain, but I don't care, I'm going to make my daily because I love it. I love to share my energy and my knowledge with you guys. I hope everybody is doing well. I want to tell you something. Do not compare yourself with what you see online. Okay, there's a lot of people, they are liars, they fake their screens, they tell you they earn a lot of money, they don't. It's just a magnet to make you come and to buy their shit. I'm sorry to say that, but I'm in the tech industry since 15 years, okay? I'm an advisor for a couple of companies. I've been CTO of different companies also. I created startups that worked, not worked, okay? So I know what I'm talking about. I'm just 37 and I consider myself very young. In this industry, even if everybody call me senior, but I think there's still a lot of things to learn, and that's what excites me. But let me tell you something. When you see online very big numbers, the first effect that you got in you, a lot of people have jealousy, okay? They are jealous. It's an ego problem. It doesn't mean anything to be jealous about that. It's not good to be jealous. It's useless. But most of the people, the first effect they got, they feel like shit. They feel like, oh shit, I never did anything in my life. I'm a real shit. I'm 20, I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 50. And this guy is 20 years old and he's making 100K a month. Okay, let me tell you something, guys. I already raised money for companies. I don't anymore, because I don't have a startup right now where I need to raise money. I did raise money, and I know what it is. I know what it is to talk about money with people because also I've been a freelancer. I got an agency since 15 years. So every day I talk about money. Every month I send about 150 quotes to clients. So I know what's the relation with money, okay? A lot of companies that you see, and by extension, a lot of young people or people that create companies and make a lot of money. A lot of these companies that you see that are successful on the numbers, they already raise millions of dollars. Okay? The product that gives you 100K that you build in 3 days, 100K per month, it doesn't work. It's an illusion, guys. Behind, there's a trick. Behind, there's something that is going to work. Behind, there's something that you don't know. Okay, and 99% of the time, the thing that you don't know is that they raise money. They put hundreds of millions in marketing, hundreds of grounds in marketing, or millions of dollars. Okay, so you are on your room, you are on your desk, and you think that you're the deepest shit on earth because you didn't succeed to do exactly what they did, okay? But you are not at the same place, you are not at the same stage of your life, and most of you, probably 95% of you, are more honest than these people. That's what makes the difference. It doesn't mean that you can't do anything on the web. It doesn't mean that you can't earn money, okay? So this is what I want to talk about in this video. I'm going to talk to you about my story and how you can put stuff in place to just grow. But you got to be patient. That's the key. All right. So, I lived in south of France until 20 years old, something like that. Probably less. I don't remember. I'm sorry. My memory is really bad. And guys, I never did engineering studies. I never did business studies. I was in literacy studies. I was reading books and writing, okay? But the thing is that I was on the computer very often, and I was on the computer very early. I started to use the computer in 1996, okay? And there was no startup by the time. There was no website, by the way. There was websites, little few websites on the web, but it wasn't what it is today. And when the startup arrived in 2004, 2005 in America and later in Europe, I would say, for probably 3-4 years later, way after the internet bubble, because there were websites in 2000, but it was more a bubble. The startup era, as you know it today, it really became after that. When it arrived, I was very enthusiastic, but my goal was never to join a startup. I joined a startup because I knew how to code, I knew how to make websites, WordPress websites, because I created my own agency and I was making websites for local people here, for local businesses, for like sometimes $500, $600, not much more, right? And I was doing that very early, 2006, 2007. It led me to become a developer by extension later, because I had friends who did business studies. I had friends who created companies, and they needed payment system, they needed websites, they needed digital assets to sell and stuff like that. So they didn't know how to do it. And of course, when you create a company, you can't do everything by yourself. That's the thing. You need to have someone at sales, someone at tech, and someone at the global management of operation, let's say, of the company. So a CTO, a CEO, and a CMO. That's the minimum to me. If you can be those three, that's great, but you're not gonna have any life and you're gonna sacrifice your health, for sure. Right? So, so I was doing good, doing development at a time when nobody knew what it was and nobody wanted to do that. After that, there was the freelancing era, and this was the time I succeeded to make money. But what I'm gonna say here, why do I tell you that? Why do I talk about my story? I talk about my story because I come from nowhere. And I succeeded to be CTO of successful startup. I succeeded to found 2 startups, one really successful, the other one not successful at all. And I failed a lot on indie hacking project, like everybody here. Okay? The key, guys, the key to grow a business is to be patient and to keep grinding. Making money from a day to another like that, it doesn't exist. Or when it exists, you're very lucky and it's not going to be for very long. That's the issue. You want to build a successful project that is going to stand on the time. That's the thing, okay? That's what you want to do, because this is where there is value, and this is where at the end you can potentially, because the exit subject, it's another subject, you can potentially sell it to start something else. And when you create something, you want to put value into it. Why? Because if it has value, it's going to be sold one day. That's exactly the same with company. But to create value, it needs time. It takes time. You need definitely to take the time. And that's the number one issue with me, guys. We are at the building era where people keep building stuff every day. And me too. I have also this problem, right? We have a very big problem. We want to build all the time, where we should build something and just keep selling it, selling it, selling it, selling it. We should spend way more time selling our products. The thing is that a lot of people think that selling, and it's because most of the builders are young and they don't get the experience, but a lot of people think that selling is just posting on social media. What a mistake. People spend their energies posting on social media just to grow an audience, and they think audience is client. An audience will never transform entirely into clients. You don't need to build an audience to find clients. You need to find clients. And if you don't know how to sell, or if you don't like to sell, guys, I'm telling you, you need to find someone who's going to sell for you. And that's the thing. Right now, there's a lot of people who got products, but there's not enough seller, or probably there's not enough people who want to sell your shit. That's another topic we can talk about later, okay? So never compare yourself of what you see online, because it's a very, very bad it's a very bad source of motivation, and also it doesn't reflect at all the reality. Never compare yourself with what you see online. Just do your path and you will see, you will get results, okay? But do not dream, don't think that one day like that on your room you're gonna make $100 million just with a JavaScript application, JavaScript Chrome extension or whatever. It's never gonna happen. It's the succession of elements in your life, the network that you build, the relation that you build, the sacrifice that you put in for years, the passions that you have that will pay. Unfortunately, 99% on 100 that are going to watch this video will never make it because they don't get the passion. Not because they are not smart, not because they are not good, not because they don't get the money, just because they don't want to spend the time on it. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to that, and see you tomorrow.